You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Indicating 004. How does that look? Looks good, Spin. All systems are okay here. This is NASA 1 calling 10 seconds now. 10 seconds, roger. 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looks good at NASA 1. Roger. BCS arm switch is on. Okay, Victor. Landing rocket arm switch is on. Here comes the throttle. Chevy breakers in. We have separation. Roger. I've got a blowout. Vapor 3. Get your pitch to 0. Pitches out. I can't hold altitude. Correction. Alpha is on. Track flight is emergency. Oh, and she's breaking up. She's breaking.
A man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man.
John Peterson.
Will be that man. Better than he was before. Better. Stronger.
Yeah.
Faster.
How about that? Gordy's back. That's great. Gordy.
How's it going?
I always knew he had talent. I knew it when I hired him as weatherman. There was just something about the way he handled his pointer.
Wow.
Gordy.
Now, here they are, live from our studios on State Street in Madison, Wisconsin, John Peterson and Gordy Young.
All right, thank you
Yeah,
very much.
please
Thank you.
stay seated.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right. Good morning.
This is WMDX. Hey, we've got the big story coming up here.
Yes, we do.
It's Trump taking over the entire country and each and every city now. His
Right.
plans to go nationwide and
He's a
take over
steamroller.
every blue city he can manage.
Why
Well,
not?
which he can't manage.
Yeah.
I heard
Micromanaging.
I heard an interview of a taxi driver in D.C.
Yeah.
And they asked him, well, what do you think of all this? And the guy says, well, I'm all for it. I feel safer with all these police around. Whoa.
Okay.
That is scary stuff.
Yeah, it is. Okay, it's 8 minutes past the hour, and it's John and Gordy, along with Dom, our producer. Rainy start this morning, 77 for a high today. We'll see showers and maybe a few thunderstorms along the way. This portion of the show brought to you by Verlo Mattress. They're having a back-to-school sale during the month of August. Start the school year off right with a mattress set built just for your student. For bigger dreams, your student needs the best sleep, and for that, it's got to be Verlo. They're locally owned and operated. They have a store on the east side of Madison and on the west side of Madison, or go to Verlo.com. Check out their lifetime comfort guarantee. That's Verlo.com. And want to remind you, our key word for the rest of this hour is maple. Okay, maple. That will get you into the listener appreciation party. Actually, the party's open to everybody, but we're going to select a few winners for our VIP swag bag. You get the WMDX. Oh, there's all kinds of goodies in there. And a free tour of the distillery at Doundren's Distilling in Cottage Grove. And we're going to have some good drinks and have a little bit of fun there. That happens on September 6th. That's a Saturday, 3 p.m. And everyone's invited to that. But again, get the keyword into us. You can use the Civic Media app. And the word is MAPLE, M-A-P-L-E. We'll select a couple of winners a day this week and next week. And you'll get a chance to win those VIP passes to take a tour of the distillery and get that WMDX swag bag. John?
Well, D.C.'s being taken over by the federal government.
Yeah.
The more police, the safer you should feel.
All over the place.
All right.
In
We
DC.
have a text from Mark. This is interesting. We were talking about CJ earlier. CJ was on Maggie's show and whined when he wouldn't just answer the questions she put to him. His attitude seems to be, all hail Lord Trump. According to this, Mark says, I have my Guy Fawkes mask ready. Now I just need the knives and cape. And by the way, V for Vendetta is one of the best movies I've ever seen. I'm inspired by that movie. That's one of those great films. You really have to go out and see that. Yeah. All right, maybe we'll talk to
Pete Schwaba?
Pete Schwaba about that and other amazing things that are happening at the theaters.
Yeah, he's coming up in about a half hour. I think.
Yeah. Well, let's get...
We got a phone call
we do
here,
have
John.
Joe. Let's go to Joe right away.
Good morning, Joe.
Right.
What do you got for us?
Hi, guys. I don't think you can give more attention to this occupation of Washington, D.C. It's just absolutely mind-blowing because it is so insane. Okay, this taxi driver says he feels safer. What do the statistics say? Not how you feel. What do the statistics say?
Right,
and obviously it's been 30, they've not had this low of a rate in violence, in crime in D.C. in 30 years. Obviously, they're heading the right way, and then Bigfoot, Mr. Liar President, is going to be moving in. He's talking about going into Baltimore. Baltimore has had a 50-year low in homicides. New York City he's talking about going into. Here's a headline about New York City. NYPD announces record low shooting victims in the first half of 25.
Wow.
So where are we in terms of they're going in the right direction? He's going to throw all these troops in there to what? To what end? What are the metrics he's going to use to say whether this 30-day occupation is going to do anything? I mean, what are we talking about? He's going to go from city to city having 30-day occupations and then renew the emergency and then renew it again.
Right, exactly.
How is this going to go in the future? Who's in charge of the police department? Are all the police force officers supposed to report to Donald Trump? Is that how it's going to be?
Yes.
Their chief?
I think that's what it is.
How does this work?
Yep.
Yeah,
well, he's allowed the police departments to do whatever they want. I mean, that's directly from the commander-in-chief. Do whatever you want. That's the orders to a police department that has rules, regulations, whatever, right?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. How does this go with lawsuits farther down the line when there are rules in place and then people are breaking them? I mean, it's his usual theatrics for nothing. Because we are paying for this, people. We are paying for it. So, at any rate, more to be found out. But I'm sure he's going to wipe it out just like Superman in 30 days.
Probably.
Right, in 30 days. What's he going to have the lowest number in 60 years? I mean, what's the metric to say that this is working? Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Joe. Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
care about the numbers. He just wants a show. That's it.
And I think even if it's not working, he's going to go ahead with it anyway. Because at that point, he's got nothing to lose.
Right.
Which, by the way, that is the current state. And, the thing is, she brought up the fact that all these cities, their crime rates are going down. Regardless of whether they are Democratic cities or Republican cities. They're going down in D.C. In general, crime is going down about 20 to 30%. All right?
Yeah.
I mean, across the board. Let's listen to his announcement of taking over D.C. here. This is Cut 96.
Okay.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening. They've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety.
Well, that'll be a big job.
In Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly.
All right, see? Allowed to do their job. Anything they want. They're
Yeah.
free, unchained.
Do whatever you need to do.
That's right.
Yeah, knock some heads.
At least one pundit in one of the TV talk shows had this to say about D.C. and lawlessness. Let's listen to that.
I mean, Anna, I have lived in the Washington metropolitan area for my entire life, almost 50 years now. I've lived in the city for 20 years. The most violent moment in my life in Washington, D.C., the greatest cause of a threat, not only physical threat, but bigger threat to the country and certainly to law enforcement officers, was January 6, 2021, when Donald Trump's supporters, his allies, some people who currently work for him, charged into the Capitol, beat cops, screamed profanities at them, yelled, "Kill the cops," said they wanted to hang the Vice President of the United States. And Donald Trump's response to that here in the nation's capital, at the Capitol building, was to pardon everyone who was involved and in some cases rehire them into his government. So watching this play out in the White House briefing room without any mention of the violent crime that was committed on his behalf in Washington, D.C. is a little unusual.
Yeah, just to say the least.
A little unusual.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not only that, but as we've been talking about too, he has kind of struck on a great idea: take over cities, democratic cities, and he is going to take this nationwide. So let's listen to cut number 95 here. All right.
Right.
But hopefully LA's watching. That mayor also. The city's burning. And we're going to have the same thing here.
No.
But then I'm going to look at New York
Oh.
in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's going to go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent.
Oh.
He's an incompetent man. And we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the business, and he ran for governor.
How about the money you lost?
And now I understand he wants to be president. But I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe he has a chance. You know, you never know what happens.
I'll ramble a
Pritzker's
little
a gross
bit here.
incompetent guy, thrown out of the family business. But when I look at Chicago and I look at L.A., if we didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago, L.A. would be burning like the part that didn't burn.
See.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just rambling.
He does. He's just making this stuff up as he goes along. But, you know, one of the funniest moments, I think, is when U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro, I can't even believe I'm saying that.
I know.
Judge Janine. Look, she came out there. Well, there's a size difference.
They should have had a box for her to stand
really
on.
think there should have been a box. It was a little, it was funny, you know, and not to say anything, you know, about a person's height, but she's, you know, it just came across kind of funny. That's all. Okay. Anyway, she came out there and personally, I think this is, what she said was something that a scriptwriter would have been, you know, ejected out of the room for coming up with, saying, "Yeah, we want this in the next episode of Idiocracy 2." Okay, they'll say, "No way, you can't say this." Well, here's Janine.
And my final note is this: these kids understand that the jurisdiction is through the state attorney general, Brian Schwab. I did a poster of the young man from Doge who was beaten bloody with a severe concussion, a broken nose. And then I did a poster of what happens to those kids, because I can't arrest them, I can't prosecute them. They go to family court, and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts. Enough. It changes today.
Oh, boy. I'm telling you, this is a U.S. attorney, and the funny part about that is that she is sitting there making posters.
What is she talking
making
about?
A poster.
A poster? Where are they going to put the posters? The post office?
Exactly. I know. Where are you going to put the posters? She's making these posters to make herself happy, keep her hands busy. I don't know what. She's not doing anything. I mean, Trump had to take over D.C. because she's not doing anything. I can't do anything. They're all too young.
Okay.
And then in a previous interview, she said, well, rehabilitation, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
we got to stop doing that.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
19 past the hour. When we come back, we'll get an update on what's happening around the area weather-wise. We'll let you know. And a whole lot more coming up on John and Gordy in the morning on 92.7 WMDX Madison.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
WMDX, it's John and Gordy in the morning. We've got more coming up here. You just won't believe what Dan O'Donnell, morning guy in Milwaukee, had to say.
Okay, well, hold that thought. This portion of the show brought to you by Madison Hearing Aid Center. They're at 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. They have fast and flexible appointments. They're family-owned and community-focused. You can call Jim or Sarah at 608-259-4077. They offer convenience over complexity. They're helping people change their lives. Their number one goal isn't just selling hearing aids. It's improving the quality of life through better hearing. Check out their website, MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. You can take an initial hearing test there and then set up an appointment.
Easy as that.
Yep. Madison Hearing Aid Center.
All right. Now, this is radio host Dan O'Donnell.
Okay.
He posted this. So, heavily Republican Waukesha County, which got hit just as hard with the recent rains that Milwaukee had to go through.
Right.
Gets no National Guard help? Yeah, good question, Dan. Yeah, this is something that's kind of interesting. I mean, it is a Waukesha County Republican Party, basically.
Yeah.
And they didn't ask for any help. So somebody else chimed in and answered to that. So if Waukesha County was hit just as hard, why hasn't your GOP buddy, Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow, declared a state of emergency for the county like Milwaukee did, which would expedite flooding response efforts, including help from the state and federal government?
Yeah.
What about that, Dan?
What about it?
Yeah, because, it looks like the Republicans in Waukesha County are just sitting back, a little lazy, not helping the people. And that's kind of what they've been doing all along, by the way. All right.
Okay.
All right. I want to get to this real quick. This is J.D. Vance. This is cut 89, if you can get to that.
Okay.
Listen to what J.D. Vance had to say. They just gave huge tax cuts to billionaires because they needed the extra money for something. I don't know what it was. But he feels a little remorse, J.D. does.
Yeah.
And he wants to help the common working class man. Now,
Does he really? Wow.
Let's listen to this.
Okay.
The second thing the tariffs are doing is it's bringing in a lot of additional revenue, which of course we're using to give tax relief to the American people and make it easier for average Americans to get by. So do it. The second thing the tariffs are doing is it's bringing in a lot of additional revenue, which of course we're using to give tax relief to the American people and make it easier for average Americans to get by.
All right,
we heard that.
So make it, I wanted to repeat that, for everybody to know that he is trying to make it easier for Americans to get by.
To get by.
It's really nice of him to think of us in that way. He knows that we're having a tough time getting by, so he's going to make it a little easier for us to get by, while they gave billions of dollars in tax cuts to the millionaires and the wealthiest people in the world and the wealthiest companies in the world, and he's going to make it easier for us to get by.
That's nice of him to express that sentiment.
It's just really condescending crap here, isn't it?
I guess so. Do you have time for Bill Gates?
Yeah, I think
no.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Let's play Bill Gates butter. This is the story.
He's got a new thing for butter. Okay.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland, fertilizers, or emissions tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia. In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago, something unprecedented is happening. The company is called Savor, and you better believe it. Their pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy butter, but with no agriculture whatsoever.
And no long ingredient list the average person can't pronounce.
It's really just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and some natural flavor and color.
How? Fats are made up of carbon and hydrogen chains. The goal here? Replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it. They tell me to simplify. They take carbon dioxide from the air and hydrogen from water, heat them up and oxidize them. The final result?
It looks like a wax, like a candle wax at first.
But they're fat molecules, like the ones in beef, cheese, or vegetable oils.
Yeah, that's it.
Sustainability is why we are here. It's all done releasing 0 greenhouse gases, using no farmland to feed cows.
The land footprint is like 1,000 times lower than what you need in traditional agriculture.
I know what you're thinking. How does it taste?
Yeah.
I love butter, so I'm going to take a really healthy amount.
Admittedly, surprisingly, like butter. Of the 51 billion tons of greenhouse gases emitted every year, 7% is from the production of fats and oils from animals and plants. So when could you get a taste yourself?
Yeah.
Right now, they're working directly with restaurants, bakeries, and food suppliers, releasing these chocolates made with their butter in time for the holidays.
Savor butter in either its current manifestation or with our partners, we expect that to be on the shelves kind of more like around 2027.
Oh.
All right, there you go.
So wait.
So can't wait for the butter.
Linda says it's
Can we go to
oleo.
Dick? Can we go to Dick real quick here?
We don't have time right now, but hang
we
on,
have
Dick, maybe
Pete
after the
Schwaba
break.
coming up after the break. So.
That's right. And this portion of the show brought to you by Verlo Mattress. Start the school year off right with a mattress set built just for your student. They have twin size sets right now, starting at just $3.99. Full size sets at $4.99.
Platform beds.
They do have those too, John. Yes. For bigger dreams, your student needs the best sleep, and for that, it's got to be Verlo. 2 locations in Madison, East Side and West Side, or go to verlo.com for more information.
All right.
Okay, 7:29. After we check on the Midwest Food and Farm Report, Pete Schwaba will join us from Nightlight, right here on John and Gordy in the Morning.
I don't know.
WMDX Madison.
I'm a little worried about butter coming from Illinois.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll talk about
It's
it.
an invasion.
Stay with us.
When we score, I do the Pack Arena. Packer fans do it from Janesville to Nina. We all want more. Another Pack score. In 96, he's Reggie White we vote for.
Mark does a touchdown and he does a Pack Arena. Reggie White sacks the quarterback, he does a Pack Arena. Robert Bush goes to the stand.
That was a golden time for everybody, boy.
Pack Arena.
That was the team for me.
Oh, yeah?
WMDX, John and Gordy in the morning.
Mm-hmm. It is 7:35, cloudy skies now. We had some showers earlier. We'll probably get a little more rain along the way and highs in the mid to upper 70s. This portion of the show brought to you by Madison Hearing Aids Center. They're at 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. They have fast and flexible appointments. Check out their website, MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. You can take an initial hearing test online and then give them a call, 608-249-4077. Talk to Jim or Sarah. They are helping people change their lives. That's MadisonHearingAidCenter.com.
All right, we are welcoming our very special guest. It is Pete Schwaba.
Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, guys. If I were less mature, I would have said like, "What?" Like after the hearing aid thing, but I'm way too sophisticated.
I know.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
You know, we introduced Pack Arena on the show for the very first time with that plane, but it is a major element in your film, The Godfather of Green Bay. Now, you told us it was on Tubi. And we checked it out there. It's also on Prime, which, you know, you would make a little money on if people played it there. So, yeah, just a little. But I got to tell you, my wife and I, we just love the movie. Absolutely.
What year did you make that? When did that come out?
It came out in like 2007. We shot it in 2004, maybe 2006. We actually had our premiere at the Wisconsin Film Festival at the Orpheum, and it was a lot of fun. We shot in northern Wisconsin. I was still living in California at the time, and then we shot a few days in LA and Vegas too. But we shot 19 days in the Marinette Menominee area up here. It was fun.
But it was gorgeous. I don't know where you got the aerial views. Would you have drones for that, or?
No, there weren't even drones yet. Like, maybe there were military drones, but a guy named the cinematographer Dale Myron, God rest his soul, passed away a couple years ago. But he was just this fearless camera guy. He was hanging. He was telling the other guy in the helicopter, "Hang on to my belt." Like,
really?
He's hanging out of the helicopter. It was this sheriff that took us up in the helicopter.
That's
nice
great.
enough to, give us his chopper and give us his time. But Dale was great. And he would, when we shot going to Vegas, from LA to Vegas, the car ride, he was in a pickup truck like 2 feet in front of this little crappy Geo. And he's going like this, like, come closer, come on. And I thought we were all going to die. I mean, he had sandbags in the back of a pickup truck. And he's like, we're going 65 on the way to Vegas. It was horrible. Like some of that guerrilla stuff you do when you're shooting an independent film.
But it just gorgeous autumn color in your film. It's just it's fantastic, and it really sets the mood, the whole feel for Green Bay Packers season. Everybody in the bar waiting for the game. It was just fantastic stuff, and I just I thought that you, as a leading man, I didn't really expect that, but there you are. You're the romantic interest. It was just
thank you.
Yeah, it was wonderful, and of course, it made it a lot easier to accept you as the leading man with Lauren Holly next door. Yeah, so this was a great role for her, and she did a fantastic job in that film. Yeah.
She was so great, and it was one of the most surreal moments of my life. Like, we had started shooting, and I had met with her in LA, and she was just great. We were like, oh my gosh, we hit a home run. She had just adopted 3 boys, so she was kind of coming out of a short retirement of a couple of years, and she was just in a great place. She was happy to be working again, and she really liked the role. She knew a lot about football. So when she got to the set that night, I remember we were shooting another scene, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, all right, this is real. Lauren Holly is in Marinette, Wisconsin. So it was surreal, and it was just a wonderful time.
What was the name of the bar that you shot in there?
Well, it's had a few different names. I think when we were, I think it burned down.
Oh, it's not there. It's not there anymore.
Burned down, and they rebuilt it because it was such a
Marinette
landmark.
has a suspicious amount of bar fires. I'll just say that.
No kidding.
I think when we shot there, it was called the Whitetail Inn, and then it was up north, and then it was a lot of different places. But we were supposed to just shoot the interiors there because we thought it looked really beautiful.
Yeah,
and the crew lit the place beautifully. And then we were going to shoot exteriors at a different place that was like this scenic place from the exterior on the river, more fall colors. But it was an independent film. We had to cut stuff off the schedule, and so we ended up shooting this kind of eyesore bar from the outside too. So, but it kind of worked. It was like this roadside place in Wisconsin. It really, I think we captured that.
I think you captured that whole feel for that. And now, the subject matter is, I think, typical of most comedians, right? They want that big break. They want some talent scout to notice them and put them on one of the big shows,
the
comedy
Tonight
shows.
Show, or
and
the Late
in your
Night Show.
case, you were writing about the Tonight Show and having a talent scout at this remote bar in Wisconsin. That was just funny as heck. And I got to say that you're who was it? Lance Barber, who played
Lance.
Kenny. He really great supporting character for your character in that. That was just gold.
Yeah, Lance was just like one of those guys. Like we auditioned a lot of people, but when he came in, it's like that cliche, like everybody else go home, because this is the guy. Like he was that good and just a great guy. We've remained good friends, and he's been on Nightlight a few times. And I knew, everybody knew he was gonna just work a ton, and he has. He's had a really good run with Young Sheldon and The Comeback. So, we knocked it out of the park with Lance.
Talking with Pete Schwaba here, the host of Nightlight on the Civic Media Network every evening. And now, Pete, I wanted to ask you, you've had a few showings of this, but have you done anything recently? We want to bring this film to Madison and, rent a theater or something and have a little get-together.
And bring it back.
And show the Godfather of Green Bay. What do you think about that? Would that be
love
fun?
it. And when we released it, Marcus Theaters put it out in like 12 theaters before it went out.
Yeah.
And And Madison was our best. People in Madison really responded to it, so I'm excited to. People in my hometown did not care for it one bit. But
really,
we did. No, you know what? People everywhere, for the most part, the response was really good. But when you watch it in the town you shot it in, no one is paying attention to the story. You just hear people whispering, "There's my garage. There's my cousin Phil." You know, that kind of stuff.
Really?
So that was kind of frustrating.
Yeah,
but no, Madison, we had great screenings. I would love to do that.
Well, we'd like to play it here only just to give away T-shirts, really.
Good. I'm a little low on laundry. I would love that.
Okay, we'll give you one. The thing is, Michael Wilmington did not like your film. Dwayne Dudek did not like your film, and you know when you have these big, highfalutin critics coming out against you, boy, I don't know, how do you fight something like that? Dwayne, I don't understand him. Now he's from the Milwaukee Journal, is it?
Yeah,
and
he's a.
For him to say you don't have to be overly sensitive Dairy State booster to take offense, I enjoyed everything in that movie about the Dairy State and having a lot of fun with it. You were having fun with it.
Well, I didn't understand it either, but Michael Wilmington is from Wisconsin.
Yes, didn't he work? He worked at one of the papers here for a while.
I don't know, but I remember. I think he gave it like 2 stars out of 4 or whatever, and Dudek just crushed it, and it was a good thing I never came face to face with him for about a month after, because I get the deal. I thought he got a little harsh, for a little independent film, and I haven't gone back to it. I kind of forgotten about Dwayne Dudek, so thank you for that. But
re-traumatize you.
That's the nature of the business, and I don't have any ill will toward anybody. But we got a great review from Ain't It Cool News, which at the time was like the hip cool online reviewer.
Great.
So the Tribune or the Journal at the time, I was like, this is the review I was most clinging to. And we got a lot of other good reviews. And when we screened it in LA, I cast one of Nia Vardalos' friends, Tracy Thorpe, and she had all the success with Big Fat Greek Wedding. So Nia came and she introduced me to Tom Hanks's company, and Tom's partner, Gary Getzman, loved the movie. He said after The Big Lebowski, it was his favorite film ever.
Wow.
So I was like just kind of blown away by that. So it opened some doors, but and we got some good reviews, but you're going to have bad reviews. That's just the nature of the beast.
I have to say that the cinematography was great. It really was. The thing is, when you don't notice the cinematography, that means it's really, really well done. I mean, you had scenes in the car. I mean, everything was just very natural. When you see a local film, it doesn't normally have that touch to it, and it was really well done.
I loved the fight scenes because they looked like a real brawl going. I mean, they were funny.
Yeah, who was that? Who played Jake? Big Jake. It was
Tony Goldwyn.
Yeah,
he was fantastic.
Doing the
Tom
Pacarena.
Lennon.
Yeah, that was his thing, right? I mean, the whole bar came together when he started doing the Pacarena.
We played the hell out of that song.
Right?
That, to me, it was funny because we played it to death. I just thought it got funnier. And when we watched the film with audiences, that last shot where he's driving around in the car and he leaves his garage and he's got the Macarena on after we'd seen him do it 3 or 4 times, got a huge laugh. So we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with that song.
Well, a full box of popcorn from me. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 71%. So that's pretty good, I think, for Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you ever thought about a sequel?
Yeah, that's what I was leading up to here. Why don't you make another movie?
Yeah. Let's sneak
Well,
us
I'm
into
trying.
it.
You guys looking for acting work? Or
That's right. That was our next question.
Yeah.
You talked about that before, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody writes me a check, I'll make anything. Sharknado 12,
All right. Why don't we get into the current films that are out there? Right. Now, you went out and just saw a movie that Dom had just gone out to see yesterday.
That's true.
And it's
what was it?
Weapons. Yep.
Weapons. Yeah.
That movie. What did you think of it? I thought I gave it genuinely a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good.
Wow.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was creepy, and but I had a couple things that I was like, well, but overall I really liked it. But I felt this director Zach Cregger's. I liked his last film, Barbarian. Did you see Barbarian?
I
Tom?
did see Barbarian. Yeah, it's very both of those films that he directed are very gory films. So
yeah, they get that way.
Yeah,
but I like Barbarian better. I thought it was like a cleaner cleaner story. And but I did like Weapons. Yeah. I don't know that I would have rushed to the theater to see it like I kind of did. Like I drove down to Green Bay yesterday early to see it. And there was 2 other people in the theater, and that's creepy too, because you think something's going to trigger them and they're going to kill you and eat you.
No, that's what I got scared too. Yeah.
Well, Gordy and I wanted to go see the Fantastic Four, and Gordy wanted to see Naked Gun. And I'm looking at the Marcus theaters here, and I was thinking we could sneak out, we could get it in, but they're out of the theaters this week. They're gone. They're history.
Naked Gun is?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man, I'm trying to get David Zucker on my show because I would love for him to talk about that too. Like,
did you like
Naked Gun? I thought it was okay. I thought there were some laughs, but I just don't think he can beat Leslie Nielsen.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And Liam Neeson's great, but he's still Liam Neeson. I'm like watching this action hero,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's brutal, right? He's very serious and hard hitting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pete, can you stay with us a couple more minutes? Of course you can.
I can stay with you guys forever. The check just cleared. I am yours for the rest of the morning. So thank you.
I'm surprised it cleared.
We will continue with Pete Schwaba in just a moment on John and Gordy in the Morning on 92.7 WMDX, Madison, Wisconsin. Stay with us.
Just looking out your window at the world outside, paradise. It ain't far away. Here in my head, it's just another day. Here in paradise.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Sunlight fall down on the field. Sunlight fall down on the field. Oh, go lay and be all that I can be. Yeah. Say I can say words only simple. Say I can say words only clear. Oh, I can feel your heart is beating here.
WMTX, John and Gordy in the Morning, 92.7. Check us out on the Civic Media app as well. Text us and leave a voice note.
Mm-hmm. This portion of the show brought to you by Verlo Mattress. They have a back-to-school sale going on all this month. Start the school year off right with a new mattress set built just for your student. They'll get a better night's sleep with a new Verlo mattress. They're on the Madison's east side and west side. Go to verlo.com. Check out their lifetime comfort guarantee. We're back with Pete Schwaba, host of Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network, 6 to 8 p.m.
And we played the Bodines because the Bodines did your soundtrack.
Yeah, for Godfather of Green Bay. What was that like? How did you make that connection, Pete?
I think I kind of got lucky because I just reached out to them on their website. I thought, the movie's very Wisconsin, very Midwest, as were the Bodines. And at the time, they were between managers, and Kurt Newman, who founded the band, and his wife, Barbara, were just kind of doing it. Barbara was sort of their manager, so she got right back to me, and I went down to his show with some family members over the holidays, I think it was, in Green Bay, and we met, and Kurt was into it, and he wrote a score and gave us some of the band's music and wrote a couple original songs. There's a great song he wrote called My Oh My, where Eric Price, he's the kid in the Beaver Patrol t-shirt, is dancing from the bar, and then he stops at our table and he's kind of shaking his butt, and Lance Barber is cracking up. And so that song is called My Oh My, and Kurt wrote that just for the movie. So he wrote a lot of great music, specifically songs for the film, and a great score too. Wow. That was lucky. It was fun having all that control because everything I had done up until that point, I wrote and sold. And it's fun being in those rooms with studios, and they, but they only made one of the films that we sold called A Guy Thing. And you're kind of, you write the script, and then they kind of let you dabble with it a little bit, and then they kind of send you away, or at least they did us. So it's hard when you sell something, it never gets made. So that was the fun of The Godfather of Green Bay, was having so much creative control.
Now, it's the credit goes to Garland Productions. Who's the Garland in this case?
Garland Garland stands for, I think it was Gary and Linda, and it was the producers, Brian and Josh Edding. It was their parents. They kind of did like a Miramax thing. But they're the greatest guys you'll ever meet. They're nothing like the Weinsteins.
Okay.
So,
well, that's good to know. I was worried about that.
They're so great. Like they're both like born and raised in the Valley in California. And Brian comes to Marinette, and people within a week liked him more than they liked me. Like they're the most down to earth guys. And that was one of the smart things I did, was surround myself with good people, and they're tops.
All right.
Who do you got on the show tonight, Pete?
A little guy you might have heard of and be familiar with his work, called Dan Schaefer of the recombobulation area.
Sure.
Yeah, Dan and I have been talking for a while now about him coming back on the show. He's been on before, but we're going to talk about The Wire tonight, the TV show The Wire, which is one of his favorites. And one of my favorites as well, and is widely considered one of the best TV shows ever. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's a great show. And then Rob Brackenridge, one of my favorite comedians, will be on in the studio after Dan. So it should be a good show.
All right.
Hey, we want to invite you to our WMDX Listener Appreciation Party if you can make it.
If
Pete.
you're in town.
It's on September 6th. That's a Saturday, and it's at Doundren's Distilling in Cottage Grove. And we're gathering some of our WMDX personalities, and love to see you come. It's going to be a fun day, fun afternoon. It starts at 3 o'clock. We're going to have a tasting party there and take a tour of the distillery and have a good time. So if you're available, we'd love to have you show up.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I would love to go. That's a tasting party. Is that wine?
It's whatever they offer.
Kind of vague.
It's a distillery, so they've got a lot of different liqueurs to try
as well.
liqueur.
They have a coffee liqueur, a maple syrup liqueur, watermelon brandy. They got all kinds of things.
Jeez.
Yeah. And they have the playground there for the kiddos, so you can let the kids play out there while you have some fun tasting some of their fine liqueurs.
I always wanted to ask you, what were the shows that you found funniest way back when? Yeah, I mean, I was very inspired. Yeah, I was very inspired by Letterman, Get a Life from Chris Elliott.
Oh, that was great. That was a great show. Get a Life.
What
it did not last long, though.
No,
Get a Life was
Fox.
Great. It was on like one season. I couldn't believe
2 seasons.
that.
2 seasons.
Was it 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris Elliott.
Great. Chris Elliott, Brian Murray. I love Letterman. And a lot of people say Carson is the all-time late night king, and he probably is, but I just felt like Letterman, to me, he spoke more to me. And I know some people love Conan. But
Conan's great too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Letterman. And I loved when Seinfeld came out. I was like, I've never seen a show like this.
Oh,
like, it was just so
absolutely.
different.
Yeah.
And so I would say probably those 2 shows.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you recommend as far as a current movie out there? Would you recommend maybe Sketch or Jurassic Park? What? Have you seen any of the popular movies that are kind of sitting out there? Superman?
Yeah, I've seen all of those. Okay. I would say the best, probably the best movie I've seen this summer was Sinners.
Yes.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
I went and saw that myself. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just saw a movie that was in theaters, like you were alluding to before. They come and go so fast, but 40 Acres, really good. You can stream it now at home. Very good film.
40 Acres. All right. All right, Pete. Well, thanks for joining us, Pete Schwaba. Listen to Nightlight tonight.
Thank you, guys. Always
Civic
fun.
Media Radio Network. Tomorrow on the show, Dr. Jim Conway will join us. He's a UW-Madison professor. We're going to talk measles. We're talking measles tomorrow.
Sounds
Get
fun.
your measles.
Sounds like we talked about
references.
A dystopian U.S. today. Let's talk about measles.
From movies to measles.
Okay. Stephanie Miller is coming up next right here on 92.7 WMDX. John and Gordy, have a great day.
See you later.
See you later.
So long. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
As we were saying, let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.